For decades, we've heard the story of the Gurkha fight for justice in the UK. You know, that classic David versus Goliath tale. But what if the biggest obstacle, the real Goliath, wasn't the British government? What if the fight was coming from within the Gurkha movement itself? Today, we're diving into a powerful call to action from inside the Gurkha movement, and it all starts with one absolutely stunning claim.
Wow, just let that sink in for a second. This is the provocative charge right at the heart of this whole thing. The argument is that the real barriers to justice aren't just external anymore. They've actually grown from inside the movement itself. And to really get our heads around that, we need to take a quick step back.
All right, so first, let's just touch on the battle everyone knows. That decades-long struggle against discrimination that really defined the Gurkha cause for so long.
So, you know the story. For decades, Gurkhas served with incredible distinction, but they faced this systemic inequality, especially when it came to pay and pensions. This kicked off a massive, years-long campaign for justice, and it led to that huge victory in 2009. That's when veterans finally won the right to settle here in the UK. It was a massive moment, and everyone celebrated.
But here's the crucial question that the speaker poses. Was that victory the end of the story? Was that it? Well, the argument here is a huge no. In fact, a new, much more complicated chapter of the struggle was really just getting started.
And this is where the whole narrative just takes a sharp turn. The speaker argues that the very movement that was created to fight for justice has become fractured. And for a lot of people, it's actually become part of the problem.
And check this out, because this slide really gets to the core of the disconnect. On one side, you have the movement's leadership, still very much focused on those historical pension claims, mostly for high-ranking officers. But on the other side, the community's most urgent, desperate need right now, it's help with family visas. And that, according to the speaker, is being almost completely ignored. The internal chaos that's described is, well, it's pretty stark. We're not talking about one unified front here. We're talking about 10 to 12 competing organizations. The speech claims leaders are busy backstabbing each other. And worse, it's alleged some are actually exploiting their own community's visa problems, apparently taking commissions from solicitors, while families are just left to suffer. So while the leadership is distracted by these old battles and all this internal politics, what's the real-world cost? Let's take a look at the painful reality that families are facing right now, today. The speaker just cuts through all the noise with a simple, direct question. What is the single greatest cause of suffering for the community today?
And the answer is it's absolutely devastating. We're talking about elderly parents, people who gave a lifetime of service, who are now dying alone in the UK, waiting for children who can't get visas to join them. We're talking about families spending their entire life savings on legal fees, fighting this bureaucratic war just to be together. This is the real hidden cost.
And all of this brings us to what the speaker calls the new battlefield. It's not about pensions anymore. It's about the UK's current immigration rules. So the speaker defines this as a whole new form of discrimination. See, the policy gives veterans the right to live here, but then it makes it incredibly difficult, sometimes even impossible, for their adult children to join them. It's a right that can't be fully enjoyed. It's a promise that feels only half kept. And here's such a powerful parallel. The fathers once fought on military battlefields, separated from their families for years at a time. Now, their children are fighting a totally new kind of war, a war of paperwork, of legal bills, of just waiting and waiting, against the Home Office, all just to be reunited. The struggle just continues, but in a different uniform. Okay, so what's the solution? The speech doesn't just diagnose the problem. It calls for a completely new kind of movement, one that looks forward, not back. The central argument is really clear. The community has got to stop relitigating these historical pension claims and instead focus all of its energy on the immediate, solvable crisis of family separation that is happening right now. The plan that's proposed completely bypasses the old leadership. It is a true grassroots strategy. First step, unify the community. Get everyone together. Step 2, build a mountain of evidence by documenting every single family's immigration struggle. And finally, step 3, take that evidence directly to the local MPs and the Home Office and demand an end to these discriminatory rules. And this quote just captures the ultimate goal perfectly, doesn't it? True justice, the speaker argues, isn't some complex pension calculation. It's simple. It's an open path for families to be together with no barriers.
So we end where we began, really, with a choice. For the Gurkha community, this speaker has laid out a stark decision. Do you continue to fight the battles of the past, or do you unite to win the war for justice that is tearing families apart today?